But alhamdulillah, we have come out the other side to some extent. Uh, when somebody does pass away with COVID-19 virus, or doesn't, but is suspected, or the potential, or we don't know, whilst the virus is quite prevalent, are we able to bathe the dead or give tayammum to the dead if you're not able to bathe? This was a discussion that ran for about 2-3 weeks. And during that time, I had to read documents from the World Health Organization, European Center for Disease Control, Public Health England papers, Royal College of Pathologists, Center for the Disease Control in America, and everything they were saying about the dead and the risks to individuals from the dead, etc. And all the guidance that was out there pointed towards the fact there was minimal risk. Okay, in fact, the stated it was minimal risk. However, there was no specific guidance with regards to burials and bathing, etc. And through, alhamdulillah, the Muslim Burial Council in the UK here, we had a sustained interaction with Public Health England, and eventually Public Health England came with some guidance, which, in my opinion, they try to make as safe as possible. I won't say as strict as possible, as safe as possible, and so advising that family members did not bathe the deceased, or did not encourage that would happen, but those people that are trained in PPE and etc. And bathing and so infection risk and all that kind of thing. But first of all, it was something that we saw as a communal obligation. It is to give ghusl and give the kafan, etc., do salat al-janaza and bury the individual is a communal obligation. And as long as it is possible to be done safely, it has to be done. And alhamdulillah, now up and down the country, after discussions and fatwas, contradictory fatwas, there is a growing number of individuals that are carrying out the bathing and of the deceased, and without any there is no report in the world at this moment in time of infection transmission through the dead. Okay, although with any dead person there is an infection risk, and COVID-19 is no different. However, if all guidance on PPE is followed, then this should minimize the risk, if not totally, not remove the risk, but really minimize the risk, that we can safely, inshallah, bury our dead and give our dead the funeral rights that they deserve, and then that is owed to them. Alhamdulillah, last weekend we were able to train 62 individual volunteers who will perform the bathing and ghusl and kafan in Bradford at 2 separate sites belonging to funeral directors. So if the site is okay, and with all the PPE, we give training on how to do the ghusl, how to do the kafan, how to don PPE, how to doff PPE, confidentiality as well, issue as well, with the disclaimer as well. So alhamdulillah, we are able to do that, and slowly people are coming on that. Because for ghusl is a condition for the validity of janazah salat. It's a right in its own right. It's a right of the dead in its own right, but it's also a condition of janazah salat. If you haven't ghusl when you could have done, then your janazah salat al-janazah is not valid as well. So it's important that we got this right, and alhamdulillah we've been able to do so. So the bathing, the shrouding, the janazah prayer, all of this, alhamdulillah, we have been able to agree that something that can be done. It can be done safely, providing the proper personal protective equipment is one, and a burial can take place as well safely. In the event that burials begin to amass up, and you are not able to dig single graves, there is a precedence in from the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the time of Battle of Uhud, and after that as well, and in the books of fiqh, that when needed, does allow multiple and mass burials. And pandemics, etc., is one example. When the people burying the dead are tired, etc., that is also another example. Etc. When bodies are piling up, these are all examples when it can be done. So mass burial is something that my understanding is that it has happened at least once in the Eternal Gardens in London, in the UK. Although maybe may not need to have happened as yet, I don't know, I'm not aware. The Gardens of Peace, as of today, have not had to do so. In Bradford also, we've not had to do so. We have been able to bury. So I'm not sure that the requirement, the conditions for burying are satisfied.